My new car right now is one of the most beautiful cars I know. This Jag is visually stunning, both in design and detail. And on every trip I take it out, this car gives me butterflies in my stomach. It's an incredible, powerful kitten in Norway. The car was designed at Jaguar Land Rover's Whitley plant in Coventry by a team led by design director Ian Callum and produced at the Castle Bromwich assembly plant in Birmingham, United Kingdom. As an odd fun fact, unlike other full-sized executive cars, this long wheelbase version was designed ahead of the short version. My Jag has a low stance, hugging the ground, low-profile tires and 20-inch Jaguar rims. Imagine seeing this cat in your rear-view mirror, with its large chrome grille, raptor-looking eyes, the long, sloping bonnet. For sure, you got true beauty behind you. Dimensions of the car is impressive. Length is nearly 6 meters and the width slightly more than 2 meters. This Jaguar XJL has massive amounts of aluminium, featuring a lightweight aluminium floor pan and body based on the X350 chassis and retaining a proportion of the earlier floor pan. 50% of the material content used in this car is recycled aluminium. The aluminium alloy unibody makes the XJL among the lightest of the full-size executive saloons, despite its exterior proportions. This cat actually weighs in at 1874 kilo, which is actually 111 kilos lighter than the mid-size executive BMW 550i. The biggest change from previous version is the reversion to steel coil springs for the front suspension, retaining air suspension for the rear only. Electronically controlled continuous variable damping as before, but with several new driver selectable modes. The headlights are so-called adaptive lights. Most luxury cars today has them, but this gives my car the perfect aggressive look with an automatic dimming to and from long beams, around the curve lights, hence adaptive. And as a lesson learned, be careful not to damage any of these headlights, because they actually run at nearly 40,000 Norwegian kroner, not including replacement installation and calibration. Actually, the instruction manual of the car clearly states that the only lights you can change yourself is the rear registration plate lights. This car has a 3-liter supercharged V6 diesel engine with around 275 horsepower. I warn you, it's so fast that you should really not blink your eyes at the same time as operating the gas pedal, nor should you sneeze while driving. According to information from Jaguar, this car does 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 6.4 seconds. I'm really afraid that this car is going to rob me of my driver license someday. Fuel consumption of the car is not too bad. For long distance driving, I estimate somewhere around 0.68 per mile. And for city driving, just about 1 liter per mile. This is actually a great improvement from my previous car, the Toyota Hilux with 177 horsepower. The vents on the side of the XJL is not only for decoration, they have an important mission too. Air enters through the large front grille, and these vents let out the air from the very enclosed engine room, keeping the engine cool and at peak performance. I find the driver's compartment seriously comfortable. It's almost like sitting at home in front of the TV in my best armchair. The well-isolated and quiet cabin really does a great job at disguising the speed and power you're able to let loose. Thankfully, all buttons are at reach, and the dashboard environment is not overly cluttered with Jaguar's simplified arrangement. There is a push button to start and stop, and both side mirrors, seats, and steering wheel can be pre-programmed to your perfection, depending on your individual drives. The gear knob is hidden and comes up when you start the car. You have several dynamic driving modes as well as a winter mode. Instrument panel is an LCD panel and changes color depending on the driver mode you select. The Jaguar XJ includes a standard 6-speed automatic transmission with Jaguar sequential shift. After owning the car for more than 9 months already, I have already fallen in love with the heated steering wheel, as well as both the cooling and heating in all seats, front and back seats. The windows are also heated, front and back. That's really nice during winter. I have read that the beautiful ventilation outlets are actually modeled after exhaust outlets on Spitfire aircraft, which actually was made in Jaguar factories during Second World War. The glove compartment's no-touch opening shows quality craftsmanship as well as the no-touch interior lights and the really quiet window lifts. That is a big change from my previous car. The double glass roof, as it's called moon roof, I presume, which can be operated from both the back and the front seat, is letting in a lot of sunshine, but not on rainy days, of course. I haven't fully started using all the functions of the XJL's entertainment system yet, but I have found out that it can be voice controlled together with a connected smartphone. The bidirectional 8-inch touchscreen entertainment system is logical as soon as you have gotten used to it. Actually, it took me a while. Sound is provided by a Bowers & Wilkins 1200 watt 20 speaker Dolby 7.1 surround system. The driver's compartment has massive amounts of high-quality double-stitch leather and chrome. In fact, there is supposedly more leather in this XJL than in any other Jaguar model in the past history. This XJL also has the Riva luxury boat look with wooden panels starting at the back doors, leading the way through the front doors and over across the front dashboard. Even though this car is amazing to drive, this is still a car that is even better for those that gets driven. As this is a stretched long wheelbase version of the XJ, the space is massive for an average small-sized person like myself. That being said, I have already had a passenger a lot taller than me, which did not find sufficient space for his head. Getting in and out of the back seat is comfortably easy peasy, for me at least, with wide opening doors fit for a car of this kind. The windows in the back seats of the car all have so-called privacy one-way glass, as well as dark privacy curtains. As I mentioned before, the seats in the back are both heated and cooled. The interior climate of the car can fully be controlled from the back seat as well as the music. Other comforts in the back includes an oversized armrest with several compartments, a hidden fridge, in-seat massage, and individual cosmetic mirror with illumination for both passengers. But despite all these luxuries, and according to some, this is not a limo per se. There is no privacy divider wall between the front and the back seat. No worries, what goes on in the back remains in the back seat. Finally, the trunk space. Despite of the extreme length close to 6 meters, there is really limited space in the trunk. There is room for a golf bag or two, but if you travel with several large suitcases, you have a problem. Apparently, the volume is only 520 liters, putting it in the same class as the BMW 7 Series. Like all modern cars of a certain standard, the boot is open and closed by motors connected to buttons. In addition to a spare wheel, you will also find a tool bag and more car batteries in the back, in addition to the ones in the front. I guess it's needed as all USB ports, cigarette outlets, and seat functions are live after engine has been stopped. Finally, a fun fact that nobody cares about in the end. In 2011, British Prime Minister David Cameron took delivery of another XJ Sentinel, featuring bomb-proof doors, bulletproof glass, and armored plating beneath the floor of the car, respectively replacing his previous XJ Sentinel.